Hello, UMCES community. I hope you're doing great. So I wanted to make this video, which is going to be the last of my videos for this year, to wish you well. Maybe take a little bit of stock of 2025 and look forward to the next year. So first of all, 2025 almost over. Wow, what an eventful year. It was my first full year at UMCES, and it was a really challenging one, as you know, and we won't get into that. But I remember making a video like this a few days prior to the presidential election in 2024. And in that video, I said something like, regardless of the result of the election, we're going to be okay, right? And you know what? A year plus later, we're here, and we did okay. It's been a fantastic year for UMCES performance-wise, and I'm really happy to see how we did. And so I'll make probably another bold prediction for 2026. It's going to be even better. We're going to thrive. We're going to navigate it well. It's not going to be without its challenges, but we have the talent. We have the impetus to actually have a great year. So I'm really super excited about next year. Couple of reasons why. We're going to be engaging in our strategic plan in earnest. You have received some emails already about this, and you will be receiving more just after the holidays, where we will engage in this exercise in earnest. I really want to encourage everyone to participate. You will have multiple venues to do so. It is really important that we capture your participation. Our strategic plan is going to be our blueprint for a few years going forward. It's going to tell everyone how we will transform this great institution from being, really good, great, to even better, to take it to new heights. So I'm really looking forward to having you participate in that process. And then, the second reason why I'm really excited about 2026 is that, a year and a half into this job, I've gotten to know you better and know about your work. I continue my efforts to do that next year, and by this time next year, my knowledge and about what you do, it's going to be even better. So super excited about that. I'm so proud of what we do collectively, and it's a great story to tell, right? So, and every time that I engage with external audiences, there's a lot of great excitement about UMCES. So really looking forward to that. My advice for the holidays, as always, is take your holidays seriously. Take a break. Turn off that laptop or computer. Don't do any work-related emails, and just take the time to relax a little bit, enjoy the time with your family, with your friends, with your loved ones, right? And gather energy, because 2026 is going to require it. So looking forward to having you back. Last but not least, a year and a half in, super proud, super privileged to lead this great institution. I have many reasons to be super proud, and I really thank everybody for the work that you do. I also thank everybody for how welcoming you have been, to me, and in this time. It's something I can't really say in words, right? And as a little bit of a farewell to 2025, we've had a number of members of our UMCES community retire this year, and so I did a little bit of a sit down with some of them that wanted to do this with me, and we had a little bit of an exchange, and so I got some clips from each one of them that I wanted to share with you, in case I think it's fun, and I think it'll allow you also to better get to know some of the folks that are members of our community that are retiring in 2025. So anyway, I put those clips at the end of this video. Have a fantastic rest of the year. come back strong in 2026. Again, thank you for all you do.
There are many people at the other labs that when I see on convocation, we just have this really nice relationship, and we're truly interested in how each other are doing and how their families are doing. And so those are my fondest memories. I would say from the outset, this is it's a privilege to be able to work within UMCES. And I'm not just pandering. It really is to have a position like this where we're basically paid to find out how the world works and do research. And not just do research, but do research that can make a difference. So that's a big deal. Another one is don't take yourself too seriously. Um, Myself included, I think early on we take ourselves too seriously, and then it becomes not very fun at times, and things will work out. The other thing that I would recommend for people is to take a break. That goes along with the not being too serious. One of the critical flaws that I did not take advantage of was I should have done a sabbatic just to get away and recharge and things. But just due to the nature of the personal situation, I didn't do that. And in part, that's another reason why I'm powering down. I'm just, it's more of what won't I do? So Katya and I own a small farm outside of Frostburg. And one of my happy places is being on a tractor and skinning out downed wood and just managing the property. Another thing, I anticipated you asking that. And so
Okay.
I want to show you, let's see, adjust background and effects.
Oh my God, I see a musical instrument. Oh my
This
God.
is my most recent passion is I've started building violins. This is number 6.
Oh my God.
And here's number 5. Tom Miller saw this one at the Mies Colloquium, he and a bunch of others. It wasn't quite finished at the time.
Wow.
This is one of my passions because this is really, it's a system. You can't change one thing without altering everything else. And so it's such an intellectual puzzle.
Of
And I
course.
just love doing it. And my daughter is a very gifted musician. She's basically playing the professional level right now. She's at Vanderbilt in the music program. And one of the remaining goals of my life, besides riding my bike a lot, is to build an instrument good enough that not only looks good, but that she'll actually want to play.
Are good. It's kind of scary. It's like only 2 weeks. Like, yes, we got married in August of 1984. I graduated from Salisbury State College, what's now
Okay.
Salisbury University, right?
At the time, yep.
Accounting major. I worked for a car dealership as the accountant, the business manager. And then I went to work for a TV station in Salisbury, Channel 47, for a year and a half, right? I was the business manager. And I loved it, but I hated it. It was crazy. Everybody left. So, like, in a year and a half of the 55 employees, there was only 3 of us, like, in that year and a half time. The turnover is crazy. And it
Wow.
was kind of the same thing. It was really getting gnarly for a whole mess of reasons. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm not working here. It's kind of shady. I'm going to get a job somewhere, even if I have to do a temp job. And it was in the middle of December and maybe a little early December. I can remember it. And I'm in my bedroom with my husband. We're getting dressed, getting ready for work. And we used to listen to radio in the morning. And they had this thing on the local radio. It was Maryland Job Service. They would announce jobs that were available. And, we live in this dinky little town, Hurlock, that's kind of in the middle of Cambridge, Salisbury, Seaford, Easton, right? And they're like, oh, and there's an opening for an accountant at Horn Point in Cambridge, and call blah 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 for more information. And I'm kind
Wow.
of like, what? Because I was thinking I was going to do temp work. I hadn't even turned in my notice yet. What I want to do, Terry and I, that's my husband, Terry, we would always kid around and say, we're going to do this when we were tired. And it hit me last week, like, I can do it. We're going to drive to Ocean City.
All right.
Okay. And we're going to turn there and take a picture at the sign there in Ocean City that says Sacramento, 3,033 miles. We're going to have a rental car and my dog, and we are going to drive Route 50. And
Wow.
we get to Sacramento,
Wow.
3,033 miles away. It's
Yeah.
been such a big part of my life. People say, why did you stay in one place for 40 years? Because I loved it.
Amazing. That's amazing.
I was
It-
in accounting major. I was going to be a CPA. I worked in a CPA's office when I was in college for 2.5 years, and it taught me, like, nope, this isn't for me. And when I got into this office with contracts and grants, I loved it. I loved it. I always wanted.
So in about 2014, I think I got contacted by Andrew Elmore, who was saying that they were looking for a director for the Appalachian Lab, and it interested me, and I looked into it, and eventually got recruited by Bill Dennison and by Don Bosch to join the UMCES team as the director of the Appalachian Lab. And you can see in the background here that that diagram here of the tree and so forth. That's something that the folks from the Appalachian Lab gave me as I was leaving there, and so it's a kind of a memento of that time there. I started there in 2015, and I was director for about 6.5 years or so. I went into this field of environmental science both because I was very curious science and, curiosity-driven science and just, becoming privy to the secrets of nature, but also driven by an interest in trying to contribute to finding solutions to the environmental problems that society is facing. And that's one of the reasons that I was attracted to the Woods Hole Research Center, which was founded by George Woodwell, that pretty much describes his long and prosperous career. And he was a great mentor. And I was able to, throughout my career, find ways to do the basic research that enabled me to, publish papers and attend meetings and be involved in curiosity-driven science. But I always felt that there was also a link, sometimes indirect, but sometimes rather direct, to actionable science and to policy. And that was one of the things that attracted me to move to UMCES as well, because unlike most academic institutions, UMCES actually has part of its mission to be an advisor to the state of Maryland about all things related to managing the environment.
Yep.
And so in many places in academia, when you talk about policy, people run the other way because they don't want to get mixed up in that. They think it dilutes the science. I disagree with that. I think it enriches the science. And so I would encourage students and early career people at all levels, especially those that are already engaged with UMCES and have seen that, to appreciate how remarkable it is to be at an institution where you have as your mission both curiosity-driven science and excellence in science, and also relating that science to policy and societal issues. So try to keep that vision, as long as that is indeed what fulfills you. Try to keep that vision and keep working at both parts of it simultaneously.
There was reports of a raccoon who had a peanut butter jar stuck on her head. So I got this very live raccoon holding on to this thing wrapped in a sweatshirt, and of course Bear, he's cutting the peanut butter jar lid off, and like, look, we got to make up our mind what we're going to do with this raccoon here in a minute. When you let me know when you're getting close, because it's going to be bad. So yeah, we got her out. But that's the extremes we go, from one side to the other side. To the day President Carter came and visited. What a phenomenal thing.
I heard about this one. Yes.
Yeah. What a fun, we opened up doors, and, because he didn't open doors, put wedges in doors and stuff. And just to watch the security around him, the man hadn't been in office in 40 years, but it was fun to watch. It was just cool. And those are the things you remember, Oh, dude, this is it's the best job I've ever had. Really, it had. It's the best job I ever had. I will say it's hard when you learn all these people who come in here from all parts of the world, and you learn them and get to know them and all that stuff, and then it's time for them to go. You know,
Right,
that's the
right.
right. You know, I mean, that is literally the tough part of this job. If I should have said that earlier, but that's really the tough part when they leave. But the
Yeah.
good part is, I got friends all over this big blue marble.
I came to UMCES. I was finishing up my dissertation at Woods Hole, and looking around for jobs, and I got approached by a professor at UMCES named Larry Ward, who was a geologist, and he mentioned that they had a postdoc in sediment transport opening up. This was when Horn Point in particular was trying to establish a group of physical scientists to, as an independent group, but also to support their biological oceanography work. And I came down to visit, and I immediately saw how flat the eastern shore is. I remember I remember coming up on a stoplight way in the distance, and it changed twice before I got to it, and I thought, oh my God. But I took the job, and I started a week after I finished tidying up my final bits of dissertation work process, and it worked out. And I married a local girl, and I just stuck around. One of the most enduring ways in which I felt that I'm really able to contribute, and this probably comes because I've always, from a very young age, I've wanted to be an engineer. And to me, that doesn't mean very specifically working on engineering things. It means doing something with science to help society. I'd like to say is that what a wonderful bunch of folks I've gotten to know and work with over my time at UMCES. So many different personalities, but you can figure out a way to work with almost anybody.
Yeah.
Some people it's easier, some people it's not. But boy, when you can produce something that's great out of collaboration, it's just the greatest feeling, I think.